Hey, it's Mike, and I'm back, and I'm ready to go. I got a lot of things to say. Hey, we got fake human, one, justice for little girls. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. It's great to see you here. I'm going to get right into it because I got a lot of things I want to talk about. I got a lot of stuff I want to cover. So I'm going to go right into the opening, and I'll be back. So here we go. Hello.
Hello.
All right. Hey, so thanks for sticking out the opening. Hey, we got Monkey Boy. Hey, great to see you here. I love it when Monkey Boy's here. Uh, Great to see you here. And Paz, great to see you here, man. I love it when you're here because you've got that, a collateral damage point of view. So I like it when you're here. Uh, Hey, let's see. Fake human running after the kiwi, and you got an update. Your wife and I wanted to give you a small update. Okay, great. But what's up, man? Because that's really this is one of the most important reasons. Uh, uh, I do this is because I have something to say. I have experience. I know what's going on. Um, and I can share that, and I can share that with everybody, and that's really what I want to do is share it and help people that are in it and want to get out, and people that like you who let me see what happened here. What's the hey Rafael, happy New Year to you, man. Great to see you here, man. And I'll get to you, Jehovah's Witness. I'll get to you in a minute. My brother got a flu about a month and a half ago, and he's still kind of sick. We don't like that he doesn't seem to be eating properly in the temple. I don't think he's resting enough either. Got a flu about a month and a half ago, and he's still kind of sick. Okay, so let me just tell you, they don't really believe in health care, and he's not going to get any health care from them. Um, well, probably what's going to happen. What's happening is they're like, oh, Ayurvedic, rub this oil on your face, or do the, whatever. They have some wacky Ayurvedic, eat some yogurt, eat yogurt, and gargle with some ginger water. I don't know, whatever, lemon ginger tea. It was all kinds of like Ayurvedic uh, uh, things. They're not really into like healthcare. I mean, they will go to a doctor if it's life threatening, or like if they break a bone or something, they're gonna go uh, to the ER. But they're not really into uh, like I said, I was ill in India. Okay, I was ill. I was sick. I had never been sick like that before. I barely could get out of bed. I mean, I had cramps and diarrhea and headache. I mean, I had everything. I mean, I was laying in bed. I was like, man, I just want to die. I just want to die. Literally, I was like, I just want to die. Everything hurts, and it's fuck. And I'm in India, I'm in a hut, and it's hot, and I'm in this ashram. Which is like a prison cell, it's like concrete bunker, and they're telling me eat some yogurt, do this or that, and they're getting mad at me because I don't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go to fucking Mangal Artik. Oh, fuck your Mangal Artik. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I can room with someone who's not going to Mangal Artik. Dude, I'm practically dead in this in this village in India, and you're bitching about Mangal Artik. You're bitching about I'm not being Krishna consciousness enough for you while I'm dying of fucking dysentery or cholera or whatever the fuck I had. They don't give a fuck. And that's my friend. That's my friend that I'm sharing a room with, that I flew from LA to India with. This guy didn't give a fuck. He's all pissed off because I'm sick. So let me just tell you, man, they all think the same way. They don't give a fuck. And I'm not saying that to like freak you out or anything. I'm just telling you how it is, man. They're not going to give a fuck about him until they think like, oh shit, maybe we should take him to the ER because we don't want him to die in our ashram. Literally. And they're not going to give a fuck. They're going to be bitching at him. Well, why aren't you out selling books? Are you really, Prabhu, you're not the body. Why, you're not the body. Why are you bitching about being insane? They're fucking insane. They're fucking insane. So I'm just telling you that, like, if he's been sick for like a month and a half, he needs to go to a fucking doctor. He can get that, whatever he's got can get into his blood. And when it gets into the blood, then it goes everywhere. Your body shuts down. It's called sepsis. And that shit happens. You can't, and that's how I was. I got sick in India. I got a little bit better. I came home. I was still sick in LA. I was still sick for like a month after. It wasn't as bad, but I was still sick. I had cramps and diarrhea. It would not go away. I wasn't half dead, but it was bad. It was bad. And I'm not the only one. If anybody in here has been to India, they know what I'm talking about. So I would be concerned about your brother. I would be concerned about his health, definitely. I'd definitely be concerned about his health. Now, I'm not telling you that to freak you out or nothing. I want you freaking out. But I got to be honest with you. You want me to be honest with you, so I'm going to be honest with you. And let me get back to this guy. Jesus loves me. Okay, good. That's good to know. That's good to know. He can get in line. I got a few other people that love me. I got a few other people that love me. He can get a praying for you from India. Okay. All right, thanks. Thanks, buddy. Hats off to you. Hats off to you, man. Hats off to you. He just left for New Vrindavan today. I don't know what they'll be doing there, but I was trying to let him know that he doesn't need to be working and traveling when he's sick like that. Yeah, like they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. New Vrindavan. Oh, he's going to New Vrindavan. Huh? Okay. Well, does he know what that place is famous for? My God, I just can't believe. I can't believe this shit. He's going to New Vrindavan. He's going to the scene of the crime. Let me go to the scene of the crime and check out that holy place. Let me go check out that holy place where all kinds of shit happen. That place should be fucking... They should raise that place to the ground like they do a high school after a school shooting, and they just destroy the place and just remove any trace that place even existed. That's what they should do with New Vrindavan. That place should be destroyed and then turned into a freaking national park or something useful for people, where people can actually go and be safe and enjoy whatever. Not go there and be reminded of all the child molestation and beatings and murders that took place there. And the disgusting psychopaths that inhabited that place and celebrated the murder of an innocent man. It blows my fucking mind. Devotees talk about that place like it's fucking the Holy Land. It's a fucking murder scene. It's like a Manson hangout. It's like going to the Manson hangout and saying, hey, I'm going to the Manson hangout. Yeah, we built a whole friggin' temple there. We have a commune there, where Charlie Manson used to live. Yeah. We turned it into a playground and we all go there and hang out. This is fucking disgusting. It's sick. It's sick, disgusting shit. That's about it. I just wanted to see if you had any thoughts about that. Those are my thoughts, man. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. New Vrindavan is like the worst place. It's like the worst place that exists. And Dallas, the Dallas temple where all those children were molested and tortured and But New Vrindavan, people were murdered there, buried under a river, where Kirtananda, the psychopath Kirtananda, was in charge of a whole commune of freaks. And people think that's someplace they need to go. And they brainwashed your brother into thinking that's someplace he needs to go. They don't want to go there. Fucking A, man. Snuff some tobacco. Man. Hey, Tim Wallace. Great to see you here, man. Yeah, great to see Raphael here. I know, horrible memories of those in the movement who think you need to experience a low quality of life. That's exactly it. It's like these people that talk about, oh man, the good old days. What good old days? The good old days when the children in the Gurukula were being molested like day and night, and guys were being shot in the head and buried under a river, and women were being prostituted out. Instead of selling their pedophile books, they're out there selling pedophile books and doing prostitution and who knows, and running drugs. And those are the good old days? Those are good old days? Jenna Morton, hey, how you doing, man? Glad to see you here. Goddamn cult. When you really think about it, that's what I was saying yesterday, when you really think about it, it just blows your fucking mind. And people that aren't in it, they don't know about New Vrindavan. People that go to the Rath Yatra festival, Martin Luther King Day parade, and they see the devotees, or they go to the Venice Beach or wherever they're having their festival, and they see these freaks. They don't know that they protect pedophiles. They openly say, we don't care if our gurus are molesting children. We don't care. And openly, they don't care. Jehovah's and Jesus troll. What are you trying to learn here? I know. I don't think they care about him. The sad thing is I feel he values the cult more than his health. He does, because they have taught him that he's not his body. And if he gives up his body in service of Krishna, great. He'll go back to Godhead. They're already teaching him this shit about space traveling back to Godhead. He's gonna go fly back to Godhead and become an 11-year-old girl and dance and have sex with Krishna. So he doesn't care about anything else. They've brainwashed him, and that's why it's brainwashing. What normal person believes this stuff about demon heads eating moons and people floating between planets playing a guitar and washing people's feet and drinking the water? I mean, you gotta be mentally ill. Seriously, you gotta be mentally ill. And it's not that mentally ill people join this cult. They take a normal person that had a job and a wife and whatever, and a career as a programmer or a computer software engineer, whatever, and they brainwash them. They brainwash them, manipulate them, twist and turn their brain into and it's not done over. It's done quickly, but it's not done overnight. It can happen overnight. It all depends on the person. All depends on the person, how long it takes. But you hang around these people, and slowly this shit starts to seep in. And one thing leads to another. You know, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. I don't have to believe all this crap. And 6 months later, you believe all that crap. I'm telling you, that's how it is. And they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. They don't give a fuck about their own kids. Travis, how you doing, Travis, man? Great to see you. Great to see you here, man. I'm glad everybody's here. Let's ring the bell. I think everybody's here. There we go. We got a bell. We got bells. Mangalartik at 4 a.m. in India is dreadful. If you're in Vrindavan and you're doing Mangalartik, I've never been to Mayapur, so I don't know. It's fucking cold. It's fucking cold. And you want to be warm. And so you got to bundle up. And you're sick and you got a fever. And someone's telling you, get out of bed, go in this, bundle up in this cold while you have 102 temperature. So you can walk a kilometer to the temple at 4 in the morning. So you can go jump up and down and worship some pedophile. Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm sick. You could want me to go do all that shit? I was like, you out of your mind. I was like, this is like a vacation for me. I'm not here to torture myself. If being a Hare Krishna means I gotta like self-torture, I gotta torture myself, I gotta drag myself out of bed when I'm half dead to go worship some guy at 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to do it. I'm not a Hare Krishna then. They tell their disciples to care zero about their bodily needs. They're trash. They are. They don't care. They tell them to treat your own body just the way they treat everybody else. I mean, it's a piece of shit. Oh, Prabhu, you're not the body, Prabhu. Oh, you broke your hand. Well, that's karma. That's karma. Like, they can't even, like, go, hey, man, I'm sorry, I heard you broke your hand. I hope you feel better. What were you doing? What happened to you? That's too bad. When's it going? What? No, they're like, oh, well, that's your karma. Ha, ha, ha. Fuck you. Somebody gets in a car accident, they're like, oh, that's their karma. And fuck you and their karma. You can't feel sorry for somebody. You can't feel bad for somebody. You can't be like a normal human being and go, oh my God, so-and-so was in a car accident. Are they okay? Even if they're not okay. They don't care. They're like, well, you're not the body, Prabhu. It's a good thing what's the worst thing that could have happened in the car? You would have went back to Godhead, so hey, Jai Srila Prabhupada. That's exactly how they act. Oh, you were in a car accident? Well, I guess you burned off some karma. Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. This is mental illness. This is mental fucking illness. Hey Jenna, get some sleep. Like, share, and subscribe before you hit the bed. Like, share, and subscribe. Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. I knew one Spanish-born brahmachari named Devarish Das. He was in India for many years. Eventually, he got sick and died of typhoid infection alone in a room in Mayapur. Nobody cared about him. Yeah, don't scare Paz too much. We don't want to scare Paz too much. But yes, I don't care. My my friend Radha Kun, he didn't give a fuck that I was sick in bed, practically dying. He did not care. He was like, "Oh, you're not going to Mangal Arctic? Well, I'm going. See you later." He could have came back to the room. I could have been dead. He wasn't like, "Oh, hey, do you need anything? Do you want me to get you something? Do you want me to get you a doctor? Do you want to go to a doctor?" No, he didn't give a fuck about me. And that's my friend. We traveled from LA to Vrindavan together. As soon as we got to with some other people, as soon as we got to Vrindavan, I got sick. He didn't give a fuck. I was in the way of his devotion. He told me, he said, I might have to get my own room. I'm going to get my own room because I can't be in Vrindavan with someone who's not going to Mangalartik every morning. Like my not going to Mangalartik was disturbing his bhakti. That's how powerful the holy name is. He couldn't enjoy his bhakti because I was sick and not going to Mangalartik. Now tell me that ain't some fucking brainwashed, manipulating, fucking cult-ass bullshit. Zero F's about anyone doing service. They're even their own gurus discard those who served there for years. I know. It's so disgusting. We're going to get to that in a New Vrindavan. New Vrindavan, it's an ongoing CSI venue. It is. It's hell on earth. It's crime. Crimes committed there, child, women abuse. It's beyond comprehension. It is. It is. It's beyond comprehension that place is allowed to exist. It should be condemned. It's like it's like Jonestown. It's like Jonestown in Guyana. It should be bulldozed flat, and then they should plant some fucking memorial trees. Hey, Dahlia, how you doing, man? Great to see you here. Yeah, Raphael, great to see Raphael back. Yeah, hey, great, Tim. Hey, Tim, fake, great to be back online. Yeah, Raphael, he's excited to be here, and yeah, they're taught to be detached from their parents, spouses, and clearly they're taught to be bad parents to their kids with the excuse that attachments are bad. Yes, exactly. I've said that before. Yeah, absolutely. That's why they're taught this. They're taught this. They're taught. Put your kids in the Gurukula and then you can go play Hare Krishna and sell books. And you can please Radhanath Swami and Devamrita Swami and Swimmer Pod and Indrayumna Swami. We're going to get to these guys. Mental illness to abused humans. I know, it's criminal. They should not be allowed to practice this type of shit and take advantage of people like Hot Lips and Rupa Manjari. How many Hot Lips and Rupa Manjaris are there? Countless. Countless women like Rupa Manjari and that Javala Mukha and that Kamra Devi. They're all abused. They're manipulated and abused, and they want to do something good, and they don't know what to do. That's why you can't do anything good in that cult. You got to come out. You got to join Mike, and it's hard. But you can't. When you know the truth, when you understand what's really going on, you don't stay in it. You don't stay in it. You leave, and then you speak out. Yeah, my friend was telling me they would have said if you died in India, you're for, yeah. Radha Kun, he's telling me, look, Prabhu, if you die in India, you're dying in Vrindavan. I mean, you can't hope for anything better than that. Like you're sick in Vrindavan. You're lucky. You're lucky. You're about to leave your body in Vrindavan, and man, that's the best thing. That's the best thing ever. These people are nuts. The master couldn't give a crap about anyone. That's what his gurus taught him. Exactly. And they were told not to get attached to anything. They're told not to get attached to anything or to anyone or anything. Only getting attached to incoming dollars. The rest is like the Metallica song. Nothing else matters. Yeah, those dollars, man. Those dollars are important. So I'm gonna start off with this because I gotta go over this a little bit because this is important. I gotta go over this. So here's this conversation from the Veda base, and I didn't go over the whole conversation. I'm not going to go over the whole conversation, but this Charu Chaitanya Das came in here the other night, and he said, Prabhupada never taught child marriage. He said, this is something that happened long ago, and Prabhupada never taught it. Well, right here, Prabhupada is teaching it. He says, Prabhupada's teaching it right here. So he says, this is a conversation from February 27, 1977, Mayapur. And Prabhupada is saying, I'm surprised he has learned so quickly, very nice. Radha Vallabha, very intelligent boy. Prabhupada, yes, he should be given letter. Radha Vallabha. Anyway, he made one arrangement with another devotee to marry this devotee's daughter. Prabhupada. Radha Vallabha. He is 19 years old and he made some arrangement. Prabhupada. This boy, Prabhupada calls him boy. He's 19 years old, but Prabhupada calls him boy. Yes, the boy that wrote that, he made arrangement with another devotee to marry her daughter at a later date. She's only 12. Sorry, folks. He says, she's only 12, so I've told him not to do anything until I spoke to you, because I don't think that this has ever been done in our movement yet. Prabhupada. Radha Vallabha. I don't think anyone has ever done this before in our movement, the Vedic system. So I had a few questions about it. First of all, I told them that they shouldn't associate until the actual time they get married. That's true, isn't it, Prabhupada? No, marriage, they do not speak. That is the disease in your country. That there is no objection. 19 years old boy and 12 years old girl. That is very good combination. But the culture is so bad that after a few days they will separate. Radha Vallabha. Yes, that is the actual problem. Prabhupada, if they stick to have one husband and one wife, it is very good. Even the man can marry more than one wife. That is allowed in the Vedic system. The difficulty is nobody remains as wife, nobody remains as husband. It is very dangerous. That is against Vedic. Otherwise, man can have more than one wife, but woman cannot marry more than one husband. But the system, the boys and girls intermingle so freely, and in your country there is no restriction. Naturally, it becomes adulterated. That is the danger. Radha Vallabha. So he wanted to know that, Prabhupada, knowing or no knowing, that'll not do it even. So what is the use of consulting me? They'll break. They'll promise and they'll break. How you can make them standardized? They will break. Radha Vallabha. They have to be responsible people. Prabhupada, they'll never become. That is my experience. So what is the use of consulting me? They'll never become almost. This is a holy man. Okay, this is a holy man. He's chastising Radhavallabha for coming to him and asking him some questions about this Vedic marriage system that Prabhupada wants to have. And Prabhupada's saying, why are you consulting me? It's not going to work. This Prabhupada guy is like an asshole. He is no holy man. He's no holy man. And when you read these conversations, you can see he doesn't talk like a holy man. He talks like an asshole. Radhavallabha, so that it should just be up to them. Prabhupada, what is the use of consulting? They'll promise and they'll break. Radhavallabha, yes, you were telling me in Hawaii about that. That is the difficulty. They have no responsibility. All right, I'll tell him that. Prabhupada, Radhavallabha, I'll tell him that. Prabhupada, otherwise there is no objection. I married my wife. My wife was 11 years old. Radhavallabha, you were responsible though. Prabhupada, yeah, he was responsible. He left her. He didn't love her. He says, I didn't love her. Prabhupada, huh? Prabhupada says, huh? Radhavallabha, but you were responsible. Prabhupada, everyone in India is responsible. Yeah, right. That is Indian culture still. Radhavallabha, when they agree at this young age, they should wait till they get older, right? Prabhupada, yes, generally a girl attains puberty at 14 years, 13 years in India, because it is tropical climate. I think in Western countries they attain puberty not before 15, 16. That's not true, but Prabhupada doesn't care because he says 14, 13, 12. His wife was 11. Prabhupada says, so although a girl is married before puberty, she is not allowed to go to the husband until she has attained puberty. So if she attains puberty at 12, 13, 14, she can go to the husband. Or 11, if she attains puberty at 11 or 12. Formerly, in our days, after attaining puberty, there is another second marriage. Then the husband and wife live together. Radhavallabha, is there a minimum age for the man? Prabhupada, no, that is. Minimum age means generally the husband must be older than the wife, at least 5 years difference. Radhavallabha, what is the most amount of years they can be different? What is the maximum amount of years there can be difference? Prabhupada, man has no maximum. Even an 80 years old man can marry a 16 years old girl. Laughter, because they think that's funny. Radhavallabha, because this one devotee has a daughter, 12, and he wanted to marry her to a man, 26, but he thought that was too much difference. Prabhupada, yes, that is too much difference, but 8 years, 10 years. So Prabhupada just contradicted himself. He says there's an 80-year-old man can marry a 16-year-old girl, and they all laugh. But then he says that is too much difference, but 8 years, 10 years usual. 8 or 10 years is best. Radhavallabha, 8 or 10 years is best. So he also wanted to know, Prabhupada, that is healthy. Prabhupada's saying that marrying this 12-year-old girl to a 22-year-old man is healthy, or even a 26-year-old man. Prabhupada doesn't even know what he's talking about. Radhavallabha, he wanted to know, Prabhupada, and in no case the girl must not be older than the boy. So again, Prabhupada's talking about this boy, this 19-year-old boy or 22-year-old boy. Let's look at a 19-year-old, what the internet says a 19-year-old looks like. Okay. Okay, 19 years old, they look like men to me. They are men. They're 19. These guys can go off to war. Look at these guys. Look at this guy. These are 19-year-old men, 19 years old, according to Google, 19 years old. And if we look at 12-year-old girls, let's look at some 12-year-old girls. Now look at these girls, and Prabhupada says it's perfectly okay for those men to have a wife this age. And if she's reached puberty, they can have sex together and they can be married. And look, it's bad enough. It's bad enough that he's saying, some people want to say, well, he's saying that they have to wait. This is friggin' insane. First of all, you don't force a 12-year-old girl to marry some 26-year-old man. Where are these guys? I know where they're getting their idea. He's saying, we got a guy here, he's got a 12-year-old daughter he wants to marry. Why does he want to marry his daughter off to a grown man? Because Prabhupada says in his books? Because he's trying to be Vedic? He's trying to follow some fucking failed chemist, failed magazine publisher, fucking idiot? And what he says in his book, so now he's going to fucking marry, he wants to marry off his 12-year-old daughter? See, she has no future, right? She has no future. She doesn't get to decide what she wants to do. He's going to human traffic his own daughter off to some 26-year-old man. And Prabhupada's saying, yeah, fine. And Radha Vallabha's saying, we've never done this before. I wanted to check with you before we do this. And Prabhupada's explaining exactly what to do. Don't fucking tell me that Prabhupada's not teaching child marriage in this fucking cult. I know what I'm fucking talking about. When I say Prabhupada's teaching this, Prabhupada authorized it. He let these guys, he's teaching them to be fucking human traffic their own daughters off to grown men. He's teaching these grown men that it's okay to want a 12-year-old daughter, a 12-year-old wife. Like Dama Ghosh asking the temple president, I want one of these young ones. Dirty old man. Papa Fraud loved gratifying his senses with gold watches, Rolls Royces, silk cloth, gold plates, vulnerable people worshiping him as God on earth. He absolutely did. He loved that shit. He never told him stop doing that. He loved it. Papa Fraud loved his dollars and big donations. He loved the good life. He did. He liked that he had goons around him that would threaten people with violence. He liked that. He liked he had Brahmananda and Yashodananda and Gargamuni and Guru Kripa running around strong-arming people, intimidating people. He liked that. And Madhu Visa and all of these fucking freaks threatening violence on anybody they didn't like. Trivikram Ex-Swami took that to his heart. 84 years old with 35-year-old. Yeah, he absolutely. You don't think that Trivikram read that? There's no prohibition, but he's a guru. There's a prohibition about that. But he's like, that's why it's all fucking cosplay and bullshit. It's so amazing. I know Trivikram, 84 years old with 35-year-old disciple. He could have had a 16-year-old according to Prabhupada. According to Prabhupada, Trivikram should have hooked up with Indra Yumna Swami and said, hey, send me over one of your young ones. This 35-year-old is a little old, you know. She's too old for Leo DiCaprio, so why should I go with her? I'm sorry to hear your brother is sick. I hope he gets well soon. Sadly, they've taught him to detach from everything, even their own health. Yeah. His health is not important. And I'm sorry to say that. And that's why you're correct in being concerned. You're correct in being concerned. I've landed here. How long did I miss? About 40 minutes or so. Hey, good to see you here. 6781. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. And Chomo Prabhupada, founder of a criminal court. I know. Save these screenshots. You know, it's on the database. It's in the database. I know, it's amazing. Well, we got it on video. So we got it on video. That's good. You can always he's sitting there and they're laughing about it. They're going, Prabhupada is teaching. Okay, Prabhupada's a holy man. Prabhupada's a holy man, and he's teaching them about child marriage, and they're laughing about it. And they think that they're a spiritual organization that's going to save the world and give everybody transcendental knowledge. This is the biggest bunch of bullshit. They're sitting there talking about human trafficking little girls to grown men. That's basically what they're talking about, and Prabhupada's explaining to them how to do it. He isn't deathly ill. He basically has what I would call a bad cold. I just don't like that he's had it for so long. Yeah, that's the thing, is, having it getting sick for a long time and not taking care of it, and then it can turn into something else. You're correct in being concerned strictly because they don't give a fuck about him. So you're right in that, and hopefully it's not that. It's like lingering cold, maybe some allergies or something. I don't know, but Prabhupada handpicked his sannyasis, and they turn out to be the most criminal goons. That's what I'm saying. And you want me to believe that Prabhupada was some pure devotee talking to Krishna when he picked Kirtanananda and Yashodananda and Guru Kripa and Hansaduta and Jayatirtha and Rameshwar and Harikesh and all of these guys? He picked them? And you want me to believe that he's like some pure devotee? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. And then so what do? They say, well, let's just blame them. Well, let's blame them. Well, if they were there with Prabhupada, getting all of that instruction, chanting, doing all this stuff, getting the stick, and doing all this stuff, and they still turn out to be shitty, why should I even attempt? Why should I attempt? Because obviously Prabhupada couldn't work his he couldn't work his magic on them, and they got to sit with him in his room. They got to read with him, do all of that shit with him, face to face. And if they couldn't figure it out, then what chance do I have? That's why it's all cosplay. I could cosplay. I was cosplaying really good. I put this on and put on a dhoti and my thing and shave my head. But that doesn't mean shit. Not when you're protecting these pedophiles. Rumor has it that Prabhupada sent thousands of dollars a year to his wife and kids in India. Well, if he did, it makes him a hypocrite. If he didn't, it makes him a friggin' deadbeat dad. So I don't know, either way, whether he did or didn't, he's full of shit. He ain't renouncing anything when he wasn't renounced if he's sending money and doing this and that. He's full of shit. Probably had a good eye for picking mafia criminal gangsters to run his temples. He did. It's like having it's like the Rolling Stones having the Hells Angels be security at Altamont. It sounds like it's a good idea. It sounds like it's a good idea. Like, hey, maybe that'll work. Maybe I can save some money if I just invite the Hells Angels and I pay them in beer and drugs and they protect the stage. Yeah, how well did that turn out? That's exactly what it was. I don't think Prabhupada sent thousands of dollars to his wife and kids. Yeah, but he did something and he left them some money and then they sued him. And then his son sued him. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. If we want to believe that no money went to the temples, but no money went to his family because that would make him a hypocrite. But then it would make him. It'd also make him a deadbeat dad and a lowlife. So either way you look at it, he's a piece of shit because he wanted all of us to believe that he wasn't doing all of that. That he was this pure, this holy man, and he gave up his family and he and went to the forest. Just insanity. So let me show you this. Let's get right to this. And I know I may have shown this before, but I got to show it again because it's important. It's important. So here we go. There's always new people that haven't seen it. So, but here we go.
Keshav Bharati Maharaj, the sweetest Swami you could ever hope to meet.
Vidyapurna Maharaj, he developed that protocol and he's done something wonderful. There's no record of him being engaged in pedophilia.
Apichet Sudharachara verse, in this context, invokes horror in some. People had become ghosts for their offenses in criticizing devotees. You never know. You can send me all kinds of nasty emails. That's it. I may lose friends or disciples, but that is my position.
Okay, so one 1 minute video, it just tells you everything you need to know about this disgusting cult. So the first thing is they promote these guys as gurus, and he even says this is the sweetest guru you're ever going to meet. Meanwhile, the guy's molesting girls. He's grooming them and he's molesting them. I mean, he's been caught molesting them. I mean, there's no question about him. That guy is a pedophile child molester. And he's saying, oh, he's the sweetest guru you're ever going to meet. So can you imagine? These guys are telling innocent people that these known child molesters, and even if he doesn't know that he's a child molester, we'll get to that. Well, let's go with the fact that he knows he's a child molester. He's saying this child molester is one of the sweetest gurus you're ever going to meet. You should go listen to him, like Ramananda Roy. Go listen to him. Accept him as your guru. He's the sweetest guy ever. And then the guy ends up molesting your daughter or your kid or your wife. And the guy doesn't care. He just said at the end, I don't care. I can't, even if he's a child molester, I can't criticize him because I become a ghost. And if I don't want to become a ghost. See, he's scared. He's a holy man, but he's scared of becoming a ghost because if he says anything about his buddy, the child molester, he might become a ghost. You never know, he says, you never know. I could become a ghost. He's scared of saying anything bad about a child molesting guru who could be harming so many children, who has harmed so many children. He doesn't want to say anything bad about him because he's afraid he might become a ghost. And you didn't tell me this is not mental illness? This guy wants to sit there and lecture people about good and bad, about this and that, about sex, about relationships, about honoring Krishna and loving this and loving that. And meanwhile, he's afraid to say anything bad about a child molesting guru because he's afraid he might become a ghost. He's afraid he might become a ghost. This is a grown man. This is a grown man. These people, they believe that they believe in witches that can take your hair and make a spell, and then they can put some stuff in. They can put some stuff on you, like a voodoo doll or something, and it can make you go crazy and do all kinds of things. That's what these people believe. They believe this kind of stuff. He believes in ghosts. He believes that if he says something about a child molester, that he could become a ghost. So you know, and it all ties in. So are there wacky people in this cult that believe in satanic stuff and child sacrifice? Who knows? This guy believes in ghosts. He believes if he says something bad about his pedophile guru buddy, he might become a ghost. So does he believe in satanic shit and drinking babies' blood? Probably. He believes in ghosts. Guy believes in ghosts. These guys go to Harvard. Guy goes to Harvard, he comes out believing in ghosts. He goes in believing in ghosts, and Harvard could not convince him that there's no ghosts. So he comes out, still believes in ghosts. That's what I'm saying. This guy goes in, the guy believes in all of this stupid shit, goes to Harvard, and Harvard can't fucking figure him out. Can't straighten him out. Harvard can't straighten him out. One of the greatest schools on the planet cannot get through to friggin' Hridayananda, Harvard dumbass Goswami, and fix his brain. It can't. Harvard can't do it. If Harvard can't do it, if going to Harvard cannot wake fucking Hridayananda up so he can learn he's in a cult, he's a cult leader. That's how fucking strong this bullshit is. That's how strong this bullshit is. Yeah, I got construction going on. I don't know if I'm gonna have a wall fall down on me or something. Hey, N, good to see you here. Now you're M, but good to see you here. Catching up. It's rather cool being a ghost. I'd rather be a ghost. I'd rather be a ghost that knows that you shouldn't be molesting children than being a friggin' guy that's defending a child molester. Seriously, I'd rather be Casper the friendly ghost that knows not to molest children than this guy, than this fucking freak. Here's some good rice for you. Yeah, we all need some good rice. We all need, check out that good rice. The guy's already haunted. He's already haunted. The guy's already lost his mind. Whoops. What happened? Not this guy. This is
Daughter's wedding is in a month. I don't want us to look like Beauty and the Beef.
Darling, relax. We have plenty of time.
This guy. These guys are equally dangerous. You've got the molester and the molester
sweetest Swami
buddy.
you could ever hope to meet.
Anyway, let me get to the next video, which is the same guy. Oh, so here we go. I got to show you this. This just shows you the stupidity of these Hare Krishnas, because this cult it messes up their brain, And we're all out of it now. We've come to our senses. We've come to our senses a little bit. Hey, good to see you. Take care. Check it out next time. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button. So this pod guy, he's got on his webpage. He's got on his webpage here. There's a couple things I want to talk about on his webpage. And this guy, of course. Here, he wants people to go watch this video. This is on the Pod Hare Krishna ISKCON webpage. The Child Predator Swami ISKCON, right? He wants people to go watch this video. And this is from Skeptic Perspective. Skeptic Perspective has all of these anti-Krishna videos, like Hare Krishna founder Prabhupada on rape, the sad reality for women in Hare Krishna religion, inside footage of a crazy Hare Krishna cult, Srila Prabhupada on child marriage, secrets exposed of the Krishna cult. This guy does this person makes a lot of great videos about a lot of different gurus, the deranged world of the Hare Krishna gurus. Of course, you can see right here, that's the one I just played. Does chanting Hare Krishna work? How Krishna cultists infiltrate academia. All of these videos is Skeptic Perspective here. So Pod, I don't know if he knows it or not, but he's sending people to that page to watch this video. He's sending people to watch this video about Lokanath. And that just shows you how stupid these people are. They got no clue. Okay, so there's that. There's that, and we did the pedophile guru guy. So now I wanted to. Well, let me see. Right, I got some other things I want to show first. I want to talk about. Okay, let's see. Let's just go right into it. I'm going to go right into the first video. And these are videos that Rafael sent in. He said, hey, take a look at these videos. So I'm going to take a look at these videos and comment on some of these videos. Let's see what this first one is. I haven't watched these. Usually I watch a few minutes of these so I can see what's going on. But I haven't really watched.
Shri Radha Ramana Hari Bo Radha Raman.
This is ISKCON leaders. Maha gathering. Oh, here they come. Here they are. The arrival of the devotees. Oh, here we go. Flowers and bowing down to these guys that have done absolutely nothing in their life. They've done nothing. They're useless. Not only are they useless, they're scamming. They're scamming everybody because they're claiming to be holy men. They're claiming to be holy men, but we just watched where they just said, we don't care if we have child molesters in our group. We don't want to become ghosts, so we'll put up with the child molesting, because I don't want to become a ghost. So the guy was saying, this is the sweetest. So check it out. He was saying, this is the sweetest guru you're ever going to meet. Meanwhile, the guy's a child molester. So who are these guys? So you've got pedophilia in their books. We got a conversation where Prabhupada's explaining about how 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds can be married to, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old men. Prabhupada himself was 22 years old. and he had an 11-year-old wife. You can see the conversation where the guy is saying that this other devotee wants to marry his 12-year-old daughter off to a 26-year-old man, and so he was checking with Prabhupada to see if that was okay. So obviously, this stuff goes on in their cult. I mean, how can you deny it when I just showed you? You got a guy saying he's excusing him. He's saying I can't criticize his pedophilia because I might become a ghost. He's saying this guy's the sweetest guru you're ever going to meet. Meanwhile, he's a child molester. So obviously he doesn't know. You cannot look at someone and say that man's a child molester. But if you know he's molesting children, now you know he's a child molester. So to say that, you know, I'm looking at this guy and, you know, he's just the sweetest guy. How do you know? You don't know. You're just saying it. You don't know he's the sweetest man ever because obviously he's not. He's molesting kids behind your back. And because he's doing it behind your back doesn't mean that you're at fault. No, you're at fault for saying he's the sweetest guy you're ever going to meet. You don't know that he's the sweetest guy. You're cosplaying as someone who should know. So you are at fault. You're deliberately misleading people. You're deliberately presenting a child molester as a holy man. That's despicable. It's if not criminal. So by the same token, you've got these guys worshiping each other, walking around with flowers, look at this, that's a child molester right there. We know he's a child molester. We know that he's a child molester. We know he's a child molester. He's admitted it. And look at the reception. He's getting the reception like everybody else. You don't know who these guys are. And with the history of this cult, it's a pedophile cult. And when you have have it in their books and their conversations and their Bhagavatam and everything and their Bhagavad Gita and everything, and gurus like this, how can you deny it's not a pedophile cult? And you fucking come into my chat, my show, my live stream and tell me that Prabhupada didn't teach this shit. He goddamn did teach it. Look at them. You don't know who these guys are. They don't know. Oh, they're my evil twin. They don't know who these guys are. And they want to sit up there and promote them like they're friggin' holy men. Look, you don't know who they are. You got to just say, we don't know who these guys are. We don't know. Well, they don't want to do that. Because who's gonna go and surrender their life to some guy who could turn out to be a child molester or some other scammer? Or someone who just walks away one day with $1 million and you never hear from them again. Who wants to take that chance? Oh, these people think it's a game where they can take Paz's brother and brainwash him to believe this shit, and it's all a fucking game. Oh, you're ruining his life. The guy's sick. He can't even get health care. All of this stuff for this bullshit, for child molesting gurus. So Paz's brother can take initiation from Devamrita Swami, one of the gurus that was in New Vrindavan. People are getting killed. People celebrating the murder of a devotee. This is fucking disgusting. This is no fucking game. This is no fucking, like, oh, this is some fucking yoga class. This is some fucking, oh, I'm just doing yoga down at the Bhakti Center. Where's that video? I don't have it anymore. I was gonna do. There's one. I guess I. Here it is. Here it is. Look at this. Okay.
We are very happily on our way to the Bhakti Center. It's a very auspicious day. It's the occasion of initiation of Stephanie Spinner Mataji.
Bhakti Center. Bhakti Center. Sounds harmless, right? It's not a temple. It's a Bhakti Center. You know, like a library. You know, eh? It's harmless. It's harmless. We're just gonna, we always get together and we chant, we sing. You know, no big deal. We got our flowers and our incense. Look, there's women here. So obviously we're not like what Mike says and abusive towards women. And you know what? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? The Bhakti Center. It's not a cult. We're not a cult. They think this is a friggin' joke. They think ruining people's lives over this bullshit, human trafficking little girls, child marriage, telling people to disassociate from their family, that their parents aren't their parents, their children aren't their children, your career is meaningless, it's useless. Why even have a job? You know, when I was in the Hare Krishnas, there was like 5 years when I wasn't really working. I was working under the table for ITV, and I was on welfare with my daughter, so I could go do service, and I didn't have to have a job. I was getting money, and I deserved to be on welfare, but because I was on welfare, I didn't have a job. I was hanging out at the temple. I was like, why? I'm on welfare. As long as I qualify for welfare, why should I get a job? I can just be a Hare Krishna, and I get welfare from my daughter, and and it wasn't much at all. It was a very small amount of money, and I was struggling the whole time when I could have had a job, because I had a job, and then I did go back to work, but there was about 4 or 5 years where I wasn't really working. I was working under the table, and that affected my Social Security. So there's like 5 years where I wasn't paying in to Social Security. So now that I'm retired, my benefits are lower than they would have been if I had worked for those 5 years, because I would have been adding into my Social Security account. So when I retired, I got a smaller amount than I should have did, because they itemize all the years that you worked, how much you made in those years, and how it affects your Social Security. And I had a little block of years where there was 0. And it was like from 93 to 98. And that pissed me off, because that was another reason, that was another thing that made me angry, because I never thought about it. For like 30 years, I never thought about it. I was working. I had a job working American Express. I was working for Viking River Cruises. I was working for Beachbody and all these different jobs that I had. I forgot about that 5 years when I wasn't working, when I was raising my daughter. I did. I got scammed. I got scammed out of time and money. I got scammed. Absolutely. So I got scammed out of 20 years of my life when I could have had a career in television and production or whatever I'd wanted to do, because that was where I was headed. I was like, I don't need that. I'm Hare Krishna now. I'm Hare Krishna now. I don't need to work for HBO or CBS or whatever. I don't need to do that. Why? I'm gonna just go chingy ching and do whatever, and go to India and go to whatever. And so I got scammed out of those 20 years. I got scammed out of that money that I could have earned and I got scammed out of my Social Security. So I got scammed out of my income, I got scammed out of my time, and I got scammed out of my Social Security money. Because I'm getting significant, that 5 years of money that I didn't pay in, that's money that I would be getting right now, that I'm not getting. And that's this, and so it's not a game. Just like Paz's brother, he gave up his job as a software engineer. I don't know how much you make as a software engineer, but I'm sure it's a lot more than I made. And when Paz is in this cult Paz's brother's in this cult for 10 years, 15 years, and he's not paying no Social Security, he's losing out on that income that he'd be making as a software engineer. And he's losing out on his Social Security when it comes time to retire, and he ain't got nothing. It is going to suck when you retire and you don't have nothing. I worked for ITV. I got paid under the table. I got paid under the table minimum wage, but it was under the table. Because if I was working there, you would have had to have payroll. You would have had to have insurance for me to be working in that office. That office was not, where I was working was not, it wasn't zoned for business, of course. I mean, they don't do anything legal. So, but I was getting paid minimum wage, but under the table. So I wasn't, it was tax free, but I wasn't paying into Social Security. And I was getting welfare for my daughter because I was a single parent, and I had gotten laid off. So I'd gone through unemployment and then welfare for my daughter because we needed funding. My wife, the baby mama had left. She bounced out. So they had brainwashed me in my single parenthood state. They had successfully brainwashed me into working at the temple for minimum wage in a television production way for minimum wage. Although the job I was doing was not a minimum wage. It wasn't a minimum wage job. But they had brainwashed me into thinking it was devotional service. I was getting minimum wage. I was getting some prasadam, and that was good. And I believed it, and I believed that shit. Yes, it makes you throw away your future. It makes you throw away your future. So by the time I come out of the Hare Krishnas 20 years later, I could have had 20 years. You can retire doing something for 20. You're doing something for 20 years, you can retire at it. Well, you used to be able to. You have a pension. 20 years, 35 years, 20 years. I could have joined the fire department and got 20 years at the fire department or anything. But I did 20 years of Hare Krishna and I got nothing out of it. Like Paz's brother is going to get nothing out of it. He's going to get nothing out of it. And they act like it's, and the Hare Krishnas act like, hey, like it's the greatest thing in the world. Meanwhile, you're ruining people's lives and putting children in danger. So, see, we got on this whole ruining your life, like taking your future, sucking the money out of you, and all these things. That has nothing to do with child abuse. But that alone, just ruining people's future like this, like this person here. This person's Stephanie initiation. This person's getting initiated into this cult. Has no idea.
So let me go over this quickly.
What they're
You're a digital
in
nomad,
for.
can work remotely, love traveling, but still paying taxes. Nope, we're gonna fix this. Introducing taxhackers.io, a solution that allows you to pay zero taxes and travel the world simultaneously. So you're probably thinking this is some kind of clickbait mumbo jumbo.
Go away. There you go.
Today matters because what does this day represent? It represents a conscious yes. Stephanie is saying yes to a relationship with Krishna. Yes to a way of living. It's yes to a path that brings meaning into the.
Yes to a path that brings meaning. Yes to a path, a bunch of bullshit. She's being manipulated and coerced and it just bullshitted into throwing her life away. Throwing her life away. This poor woman. She has no idea. She has no idea. Does she know that her guru is a friggin' child molester?
Complexity of modern life.
Does she know? Does she know that? Because I guess they give initiation after 6 months. I don't know how much you can read in 6 months. I mean, you can read the Bhagavad Gita. You can read a couple cantos of the Bhagavatam. You can read Science of Self-Realization and maybe The Nectar of Devotion. If you're a heavy reader, how much of these books has she read? Or has she just been listening to the bullshit that these people tell them? That tell her. They tell her this and that. Tell her this and that. How much of this bullshit has she actually read the books where Prabhupada says women have small brains, women are less intelligent, women are Maya, and women are this and that? Has she read these books? Has she read about the child marriage? Has she read this quote that I... See, if she had read this stuff in the beginning, when she had an open mind, if she had gotten the truth when she had an open mind, she would never have let herself even step foot in this place. She would never let herself step foot in this place if she knew about Rupa Manjari's story and about the woman that was married off at 12 years old and raped at 13 and married at 13. And she knew about all the little children that were molested in Kirtanananda and the guy getting shot in his van and the bodies buried in New Vrindavan. And Jayatirtha getting his head cut off by an angry disciple because he screwed his wife. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on and on. But this woman, does she know anything about that? I say she doesn't know any of it. She's just sitting there like, oh, I'm involved in a spiritual thing, and I'm all on flowers and incense, and I'm not Stephanie anymore. I'm Saraswati.
Home. We sing that in songs. You want all the country roads to take us where? Right? We want to go home. You can chant quietly while walking.
Promising the space travel. I want to go home. I want to go back to Godhead. I want to travel to another planet and become an 11-year-old girl. It's freaking insanity. The absolute insanity. The top men in a cult would answer upon questions raised about retirement. Prabhu, why are you worrying? Krishna will take care of you. Have faith and chant more. Krishna doesn't take care of anybody. That's why Radharani is still out there selling books. She's got to be my age. You got to be at least 65. She's got to be in her 60s. She got to be in her 60s. She's got, instead of being retired like me and ranting on the internet and doing whatever she wants to do, she's got to go out and sell books every night because she's got no retirement. She's been selling books for 40 fucking years. Since she was 18 years old or something. She's been selling nothing but selling books. You don't know how to do anything else. What is she going to fucking do? What is she going to do when she can't sell books anymore? When she can't get up and go walk to sell books? When her legs give out, when she has arthritis, when her hips are bad, and it hurts to go walk, and she can't get on the bus to go to the Hollywood Bowl and sell books and walk up and down the hill and go out to SoFi Stadium. And what's going to happen? What happens if she's out there at SoFi Stadium selling books and she gets jumped by a bunch of guys that are steal all her money and take her and throw her books away. Who's going to help her then? What's going to happen then? What's going to happen when she's old? She can't pay her rent, and she can't sell books. What's going to happen then? Is he going to ship her off to Vrindavan so she can go live in some ashram with a bunch of old ladies, begging for rice every day, eating khichdi out of a bucket? I'm not joking, man. I am not joking. Raphael knows that. Raphael, you got to stick up for me. You guys know I'm telling you the truth. What the fuck are they going to do with Radharani? She was married to this guy. I think his name was Arjuna, or something. And he drove a little sports car. He lived around the corner, but they were divorced. And he was, and I know he was an abuser. He looked like an abuser. They say, I just sat here and said, you can't tell if somebody's a molester. But in the Hare Krishnas, man, you got to assume everybody. I mean, I wasn't abusing anybody, but the philosophy is still there. Women have small brains, less intelligent, like to be raped. I mean, even though I'm not acting on it, that shit, you're in that friggin' environment. You're in that environment, and even though it's like I wasn't racist and sexist, I was in that environment where it was like, I was around people that were and who talked about it and acted on it, and I acted like it wasn't there. I pretended like I didn't see it or hear it, and I feel bad for it. But that's you all know how it is. You don't speak up. You don't say, hey. You don't do that. Papa Fraud is still damaging people even after death. It's how despicable. And it's so despicable. Still. Exactly. They sell you a dream. You end up with they sell you a dream. You end up with a nightmare. Is what you end up with. You end up with depression, anxiety, confusion, depression, all of that. You end up with a nightmare. They sell you this dream of space travel to the holy Dham with all this devotional service, and all you get is friggin' self-doubt, self-criticism, depression, confusion. There's no happiness. I'm going to tell you, if there was real happiness, I'd sit here and I'd say, but the happiness, when they say that happiness is like a drowning man getting a breath of fresh air and then he goes back to drowning, and he says that breath of fresh air is like happiness. That's exactly like what ISKCON is. ISKCON is exactly like that. You're in confusion and depression and self-regulation and self-criticism and self-doubt and I can't question, I have to accept, and blindly following, and all these things on your mind. And while you're trying to chant, follow the regular principles and all this stuff, it's a heavy load it's a heavy load on your mind. Doing all that, that's trying to do all of that. That alone is going to drive you crazy. That alone drive you crazy. And then what do you get? You go to the temple. And you have some kirtan and some prasadam, and that's your enjoyment. The rest of the time, you're miserable. Like these people, like that girl trying to sell those books. She is so miserable out there trying to sell books, and she's like trying to be happy, trying to smile. Everyone's telling her no. There's no happiness when everyone's telling you no. That is all, then that's cosplaying, pretending that you're happy, pretending you're doing that. And then she's trying to pretend that she's a spiritual person when she knows better. That's your life. This is a life of anxiety and confusion and depression, repression, Repression, compression, depression. Just like Prabhupada says, that's what it is. That's what ISKCON is. And if you look at Prabhupada and you read these conversations in the conversations in the Vedas, you read the conversations he has. He's no holy man. He's an angry asshole, is what he is. I'm just telling you. And that's why so many of his disciples are angry assholes. They learned it from him. Like Yashodanandan and Tamal Krishna and Kirtanananda and all of these guys. Says, I've seen so many older devotees screwed because they gave up their lives to the cult. I've seen devotees donate their homes and now they're begging for shelter. Yeah, me, I gave up a lot for this cult. I mean, I don't give up a lot. I could have pursued a career in something, and instead when I was working, I just had a job. So I could go to India and I could go, hang out at the temple and go to the Govindas and buy dhotis and kurtas. And that was the only thing that was important to me. I wasted 20 years of I could have been pursuing television and production like I was when I got into it. As soon as I got into it, when I got into Hare Krishna, I was into television and cable TV and TV production and doing what I'm doing now, kind of. That's what I wanted to do that back then, 35 years ago. 30-something years ago, that's what I was doing. And instead, I went to work for ITV, subtitling Prabhupada's lectures, editing videos, filming videos for Nrsingananda. We went to Houston, and I met Tamal Krishna, and we did a whole video production in Houston with Tamal Krishna. I got to have dinner with him. Instead of actually doing, and I'm in Los Angeles, I'm in Hollywood, I'm where LA is, where there's movie studios and television studios and cable studios, and there's networking people, and I could have done anything, and I didn't want to do nothing. Just like Paz's brother doesn't want to be a software engineer. Who knows what Paz's brother, what trajectory his career would have taken. He's a software engineer. He could have been rise to the top of his company. Maybe become the CEO of the company. Who knows? Over 20 years, who knows? Well, no. Now he's a New Vrindavan. He's going to be doing some typesetting for Devamrita. He's gonna print out some pamphlets so that the devotees can go distribute them in the parking lot of the local Costco. Absolutely right, Mike. It was never a game. It seems like it was at the beginning. Later on, rude, crude awakening. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And that's why people need to be warned. You can't listen to these Hare Krishnas that come in here and are like, oh, Prabhupada was pure and he was this and that. And fuck them. Fuck all of the Charu Chaitanya Dasas and all of these freaks that come in here and they want to talk about how, they would tell you how Prabhupada was pure and it was the gurus that did this and the gurus. Fuck them, man. They ain't no sense at all. They sell you a dream, but you end up with trauma. Yeah, you end up with trauma. PTSD, trauma. You come out shell-shocked. And you see those women, the women that I showed, it's like they were happy at one time, but now they're just like, hi, I'm Kamar Devi Dasi. I was a devotee for 50 years. I was a devotee for 50 years. I served Prabhupada in his temples. I was on the altar. Man, I was sitting there and I sewed some clothes. Does that look like transcendental bliss? Or, and then the other one is like, I'm Jamola Luke. She looks like she's seen friggin', You do like she's in a battle in World War I, like Mustard Gas. She's like, I'm Javalamukha, and I'm here to talk about satanic rituals in ISKCON. And Rupa Manjari, she's like blaming her. She's like, well, Prabhupada's right. Women do like to be raped. My husband abused the hell out of me, but you know what? I did want it. I did deserve it. That's what I'm talking about. This is no game. When people end up like that, when people end up ruining their lives, but not only ruining their lives or wasting their lives or damaging but coming out with like mental illness. Coming out with mental illness. Being ISKCON Guru is somebody the best carrier ever. Tax-free money, golden class air flying tickets, 5-star hotels, constant worship, owning apartments in various locations. The list goes on. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And the followers don't know how all that shit is happening. They just think they're donating to some holy man who's eating a bowl of good rice every now and then. They have no idea that these guys are like have investment firms and they have their kids have a business with tablecloths and importing friggin' designer drugs and who knows what else these guys are doing. Pretending that's why it's all cosplay. These guys are gonna talk about how they're renounced this and renounced that, and meanwhile they're fucking wearing $400 wetsuits, flying around the world so they go swimming and traveling, going all over India, doing their Guru Palooza, staying in hotels, flying first class. It is fucking insanity. And it's insanity that nobody really knows that this shit's happening. So, okay, so we saw these guys. We saw this guy was actually a friggin' molester. Wait, no. We're done with that one. Let's check out this one.
So Krishna created a Nitrotsava, a festival for their eyes.
Oh, okay. So pause if you're still with us. This is your brother's guru. This fat fuck who doesn't renounce shit. Does he look like he's starving? Does he look like a renounced swami? Yeah, the guy ain't a swami.
And then stole their lives.
There's some abused women, some pedophiles, some young up.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
So there you go. You got your abused women and your abused children. And that's a good case of Stockholm Syndrome.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
I don't know. Pause. Maybe your brother's in this video. You think maybe your brother's in this video? One of these guys, your brother? He's a scammer. He's a big time scammer. Is your brother in this video, you think? Maybe? Abused child, scammer guru, abused women, pedophiles, abused women, pedophiles, abused women and pedophiles.
Hare Krishna,
abused women, pedophiles, abused women, pedophiles. And I'm sorry, and I'm not calling your brother a pedophile. Pause. I don't think they've gotten to him yet, but in all honesty, if he believes what they're telling him, he believes in child marriage, and he believes women have small brains and women like to be raped. If he's in 100%. If you ask him that, he's going to tell you, yeah, well, women have small brains, man. And then he's going to say something like, well, can't you see that women are kind of stupid? I mean, isn't it obvious to you? That's what they told me. Isn't it kind of obvious to you that women are stupid? I mean, can't you see that women are kind of dumb? Doesn't that make sense to you, Prabhu? And then you say, you know, Prabhupada says black people belong in the jungle. I mean, you know, these black body devotees, can't you see that these can't you tell that black people are different than white people? Prabhu, it's in the books, man. Krishna says they're Shudras. They belong in the jungle. They're slaves. Prabhupada says. Prabhupada says. Prabhupada says it's bad karma to be a black person. It's bad karma to be born in a black body. It's bad karma to be born in a black body. The only good thing you can do is become a Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare.
Again, they think it's a game. They think it's a game. They think it's fun. They think it's all fun, and they think it's these guys. This is a pedophile cult, and like, you know, I'm going to go back to Knitting Coat Lady. I didn't have Knitting Coat Lady today, but I'm going to go back to Knitting Coat Lady. Just because not everybody in the pedophile cult is a pedophile, and not everybody in the pedophile cult is being abused, doesn't mean it's not a pedophile cult. Knitting Cult Lady, if you read her book or you watch her videos, she will explain how the children of God had books on pedophilia, on how to abuse children. Abusing children was part of sex with children, was part of the Children of God cult. Not every child was sexually abused. That doesn't mean that it's not a pedophile cult. That's why I say it's so important that you have to understand what we're talking about. I'm talking about the reality that this Hare Krishna, ISKCON, Gaudiya Vaishnav bullshit, these are pedophile cults based on, not on what I think, based on their own literature, their own teachings, the conversations of the founder, the founder's actions, the actions of the gurus, the statements of the gurus. It's all coming from them. I'm just the vehicle that's presenting it. Whether I think it's a pedophile cult or not is really, that's really besides the point. I'm putting all this stuff out there. You can decide if you want to call it a pedophile cult or not. You can agree with me or not. It's up to you out there whether you want to call it a pedophile cult. You can say, well, Mike, I think that's going a little too far. Fine. I got no problem with that. If that's your level of understanding, I'm okay with it. Human abuse on a mass scale is so bloody sad. It is. It really is sad. When you look at this shit and you see what's going on and you know what's really going on, when you know what's really going on, like I was saying on my last stream, if you're looking at this from the outside and you don't know anything about what we know, you go, Mike, it looks harmless. Like they're cooking food and they're dancing. That's why this is propaganda. This is what they want you to think. Because they know the bullshit So let's flood them with all the good stuff. What else can they do? So I'll flood it with the truth. With the truth. This is bullshit. This is all bullshit. Everything they do is so sexist and racist. The fact that the men have to dance around with each other and not with women, and women have to be separate from the men, is so repressive. It's like 1,000-year-old. It's like again. It's like what are we living in? Bengal in the year 800. Bengal in the year 800, where men and women did not associate with each other. Meanwhile, women were bathing topless. Back then, women didn't even wear a top. They just wore a sari with their breasts out. If you want to know the truth, back when they back in the time that they want to go back to. Everything they do is sexist. Women can't do this, women can't do that. Women have to be over there, women have to be over here. Women can make garlands, but they don't do any of the other stuff, or the manly stuff, whatever the manly stuff is. Women can barely lead kirtan. I don't think women can even lead kirtan. I mean, once they got to be a special occasion for women to lead kirtan. You got to be a special woman to do that. There's a whole, and again, if you're from the outside and you look at it from the outside, and you go, what? They're just dancing and they're worshiping and they're singing and they're cooking and they're eating food. That's a good way to put it. Don Pearson, yeah, it's a life-gobbling cult. It gobbles up your life. Yeah, it absolutely does. You voluntarily give it up. You turn over your life to these people. You don't even realize it's happening. What's the next video I got here? The next video. Okay, here we go. This one really pisses me off a lot. This is the kind of shit that really gets me, because you know what? Well, the child molestation gets me, but this shit is really this is out there. It's just out there. This fucking scammer. His Holiness, like he's ever done anything holy. Shiva Ram Swami finishes famed swim marathon for Arabic Srimad Bhagavatam. What a fucking scam this guy is. Like, he really needed to do that swim so he could print some books in his $400 wetsuit. It's such a fucking scam. He just wants to swim, and he wants someone else to pay for it. That's it. He just wants to swim. And he's supposed to be a guru. He's supposed to be a swami. He's supposed to be in the renounced fucking order of life. Renounced. He's supposed to be renounced. Renounced means I don't swim. I don't have to swim. I don't have to swim. I don't do anything. I don't run in marathons. I'm renounced. I don't watch TV. I don't go to the movies. No, he doesn't want to live like that. He doesn't want to live a renounced life. So he's going to do everything he wants to do and say that it's for some books or it's devotional service. I'm going to go on Guru Palooza. I'm going to go swim in the Thames and Prince. It's such a fucking scam. This is bullshit. And these people eat it up. Oh, look, Maharaj swam. What the fuck did you do? Big fucking deal, you fat fuck. Who cares that you fucking swim in a river? Seriously, man. Like, what the fuck is that? Dude, what the fuck is that? Hey, how important is that? So you could print some, but just print the fucking books. Just print the fucking books. No, you don't want to print the books. You want to go swimming in your $400 wetsuit. Now, how much did it cost to do your little stunt and take your entourage with you? Because I know you had an assistant. You probably had more than one assistant. You probably had one assistant to fucking carry your flippers, and then you had a couple Modijis cook your lunch or something, and then another servant to do all your booking, your reservation, your airline ticket, and all that crap. You ain't fooling nobody. And who paid for all that? Who paid for those servants? Who paid for their airline ticket? Who paid for their bus to the river, and paid for their lunch, and paid for their dinner, and paid for all their lodging and accommodation? Who's paying for all this shit? The people that think they're paying for some books, they're actually paying for you to go have a fucking little joy ride, little joy swim, while you call yourself a guru, swami, renounced order of life. It's a bunch of bullshit. I'm more renounced than this fuck. Renounced order of life. And these people think he's a holy man. They think he's done something. Meanwhile, all his fucking followers are depressed and anxiety and fucking all of that. Fucking A, man. It just it fucking grinds my gears. And fake ass scamming pedophile gurus. Propaganda balloon flying high. They're trying to cover the crimes committed very, very hard until this balloon bursts when Mike, us, or other brave ex-ISKCON speak out. Only the truth will set us free. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wish there would be some more people speaking out like me, doing live streams and videos. I mean, there are people that do it. I'm not saying, skeptic perspective, and there's a bunch. But then there's these guys like Henry Jolly-Cure who started out doing a lot of good stuff, but then he's talking about Prabhupada being pure. That bothers me when he's talking about, I don't know. And then these other guys, Henry Doktorsky, talking about, well, I agree with 99% of what Prabhupada says. And a lot of, Nori Muster, I don't know. I really don't know where she stands. So I really don't want to comment on Nori. But I would like to see Nori speak out and do something like what I'm doing. Nori could go live and say, "Hey, I'm here for all of you Hare Krishnas out there that want to leave and want to talk about your experience. Dude, Nori should be doing what I'm doing. These people should be doing what I'm doing and giving a space for all of us that are, because Nori's going to reach people that I'm not reaching, and then we can network together and we can create a bigger audience community. Okay, so there's swimmer pod, and then so here we go. So and it's all one big friggin' club. It's all one big club. Look, here we go with it. We go with this guy, Dickie Slavin, and oh no volume on this. Dickie Slavin and Swimmer Pod, the two big scammers in this, and they're celebrating birthdays, of course, right? Because if you're celebrating the leader's birthday, you know you're in a cult. So here we go. Two grown men with their birthdays, celebrating their birthdays. And I'm not saying that you got a buddy you can't get on, hey, I'll take you out for drinks on your birthday. Or I'll take you out there, we'll go get tacos or something. I mean, fine. But look at the two holy men in the renounced order of life celebrating each other's birthdays. To me, it's comical. Extremely comical. Yeah, humility on these are the two renounced swamis getting down on their birthdays, okay? He's got, what did he get? Open it. What did you get? I got a new chowder. No, it's not a chowder. It's a nice Donna Karen cashmere sweater. Ooh, very nice from Dickie Slavin. Got him a nice, expensive, a $300 cashmere sweater. Wow, I wonder if it has a spot on it like the one on Seinfeld. Got a spot. Wait, this sweater's got a spot. Here, let me touch your feet in some cosplay maneuver that so goofy, so friggin' goofy. Oh my God. So we only had one troll in here today, a Jehovah's Witness who wanted to remind me that Jesus loves me, which was nice. It was nice to be reminded. It would be nice to be reminded that Jesus loves me. And then let's see, there's another video here, and this is a good one because it's well, let's just watch it and then we'll talk about it, I guess.
मैं जब भी गिरा गिरने ना दिया तेरे साथ नहीं कान्हा सब कुछ दिया मैं जब भी गिरा मैं जब भी गिरा गिरने ना दिया तेरे साथ नहीं
I guess he's the one in the middle with his hands up blessing everybody. There you go, he's blessing. They're fanning him. Yeah, he's the one without the fan. So, I got this guy. Now, I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea who this guy is. I don't know if he's a part of some pedophile cult or not. I really don't. I don't know who he is. He's some Babaji. He could be a scammer like all the rest of them, or he could be, who knows? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, when you look at this video, I'll tell you what I do see in this video. What I do see in this video.
गिरने ना दिया तेरे साथ नहीं कान्हा सब कुछ दिया मैं जब भी गिरा.
So what I do see in this video is I see an actual Hindu holy man. And it looks like he's got some kind of Sri Vaishnav Sampradaya, the big wide tilak on. And he's got the yellow, but what gets me though is that he's got this huge crowd. It looks like it's the Rose Parade in Pasadena on New Year's Day. He's got a huge crowd. He's got police, security. He's got people with ropes keeping people back. He's got a whole entourage, a whole crowd of followers, I guess, people. He's got, I don't know where this is, but it looks familiar. For some reason, that wall in the background, it looks familiar. It looks like Vrindavan, but I'm sure 90% of India looks like that red wall. ISKCON gurus wish they got that kind of reception. They wish that they had a parade and had thousands of people line the streets and all of this type of stuff. They don't get any of that. They don't get any of that. You saw the difference between this reception, this guru, and the one Lokanath coming out of his car, and the guy put a little garland around his neck. That's the difference between a fake Hindu, a fake ISKCON cosplaying Hindu, white Hindu guru, and a real guru, He's based in Vrindavan, Radharani Sampradaya, worshiping only Radha, no Krishna involved. Yeah, you know, and it looks like, I'm going to tell you, that wall right there, it looks like that's the parikram path behind, or that's not the parikram path, but that looks like the wall behind the Prem Mandir. I've walked that path so many times. It looks just like it. I mean, I get deja vu when I'm looking at that. But who knows? Like I said, you know, most of India looks just like that. So how can you tell? How can you tell what? But for some reason, man, it's like I recognize all of that. So that's a real Hindu guru. Not this Lokanath guy getting out of his car, or this swimmer pod with his. Yeah, let's look at the difference. So here you go. Here's a ISKCON guru coming out of the river. He just swam his marathon. He's all proud of this thing. Comes out of the river. He got one devotee there with his cane. He struggles to get out. He comes out. That fuck comes out, and there's like nobody there. Oh, there's 3-4 people there. They get out of my way, guru. I gotta get to my towel. People walking right by him like he's, you know, people watching. Oh, it's a couple handful of people up there. Oh, all these other people, they don't care who he is. They're like, you don't give a fuck. All those people there, and he sits there by himself. Hey, let me sit over here. And nobody gives a fuck who this guy is. I don't give a fuck. And then you take that, and then you look at this. This guy shows up. This guy shows up at half the town. Half the town comes out to see him. Half the town comes out to see him. Shiva Ram, he's got swimmers pushing him out of the way so they get to their towel dry off. Nobody cares about Shiva Ram. What else do we got here? What else do I got here? I'm gonna do that one. Okay, so here's this guy. When audience size takes precedence over audience quality. And I'm telling you, man, Shiva Raman is swimming in the river. Wait, what's going on with this guy? What happened?
I'll continue this series of discussions of Vanaprastha life with two verses from Garuda Purana. Yavat swastam idang shariram arujang yavat chara durato yavat chendriya shaktir apratihata yavat kshayona.
So this is the mental illness. He's gonna read from the Garuda Purana, some book. Who knows what this book is? Who knows who translated it? Prabhupada didn't translate it. He's gonna read from the Garuda Purana about something, as if it's pertinent to our daily life now. As if he's a holy man as if what he says has any significance on the face of this earth. That's the mental illness of these people. This man thinks that what he has to say is somehow important.
Sandipte bhavane hi kupa kananam pratyudyama kidrishaha. As long as this body is healthy and free of disease, as long as old age is still far off, as long as the strength of the senses is unimpaired and life is yet not decaying, right then, a wise person should make a great effort for the welfare of their soul. For what is the use of starting to dig a well when the house is already on fire? So
there he's saying right there, he's saying, why worry about your body? He's exactly like what Paz's brother is sick, and they're telling him, why worry about your body? Why worry about digging a well when the house is on fire? Your soul is in danger, and you're worried about the health of the physical body. That's what they're saying. That's what this idiot is saying. Now you got to remember that this is a man who said, I don't want to criticize a child molester because I might become a ghost. So this is a guy who's afraid of becoming a ghost. He's Harry Ghost Potter. he's a Harry Potter pod. Harry Potter pod here, Vivekananda wannabe scammer hiding in South India. Hugh Turvey. Yeah, this is a Hugh Turvey. Because he can say he can protect his child molesters in India, and it'll pretty much go unnoticed until Mike says something about it. But yeah, this Harry Potter pod here thinks that if he says anything about, so who's going to take spiritual advice from a man who doesn't want to criticize a child molester because he's afraid he's going to become a ghost? So let's analyze that for a second. So he's got the stick. He's got the dress of a guru. He's got his chadar. He's got the right color on. He's got orange. He's got his bead bag with his beads and his bead counter, because you don't want to miscount your rounds. You don't want to. You got your round. And then he's got his neck bead on. Right. You got your neck beads, and he's even got a turban on, which. Prabhupada never wore a turban, right? Prabhupada never wore a turban, but he's even got a turban on. So he's got everything you need. You think he's got everything. He's got the Swami. He's got the Swami kit. He's got the Swami kit. Stick, beads, dhoti, chadar, kuntimala, japamala. He's got the Vivekananda Swami headdress. But even with all of that, he's still afraid of becoming a ghost. And he chants the holy name, and he's got Prabhupada as his guru and Lord Chaitanya, and full faith in he's got full faith in Lord Chaitanya and Krishna. And even though he's got all of that going for him, he's afraid that if he says something bad about a child molester, he's going to become a ghost. He's going to become a ghost. So even if you do all of that, even if you do everything he's doing, you follow all the rules that he's doing, you follow in his footsteps, you chant 16 rounds, hell, chant 64 rounds. Chant 64 rounds, do all that stuff. But if you criticize a child molester, guru, you could become a ghost. All of that shit doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter. The holy name, the chanting, the tilak, the shaved head, the turban, the stick, the neck beads, the dhoti, the japa, all of that. None of it matters. None of it fucking matters. You know why? Because because it's not real. If it was real, would he be worried about criticizing a child molester? If he was a real holy man, would he give a fuck about criticizing a child molester? You got to have some integrity. You got to have some conviction. You got to believe in what you're preaching. And if you don't believe in what you're preaching, then you're just a fucking hypocrite, faking fraud. This is a fraud. He doesn't believe the holy name is all powerful. He doesn't believe in all of that. He doesn't believe he's a Swami. He doesn't believe he's on the highest platform. He doesn't even believe in Vanaprastha. He's not living down by the Radhakund in a hut. He's not renouncing all his servants and all his little gold paraphernalia and his little lunch and his light bulb and his picture of Prabhupada and his little seat and his all. He's not renouncing anything. He's sitting there taking advantage of everything he can get. And he's going to fly around the world and he's going to go meet with his child molester buddies because that's how he makes his money. And if he says anything bad about his child molester buddies, he knows that his golden goose, his goose that lays the golden egg, is going to dry up. His goose that lays the golden egg is going to dry up. He can't go against Lokanath Swami and all of these guys. Fucking scamming piece of shit this guy is. And he wants to sit there and lecture about something. Yeah, don't wait until the house is on fire. Run from that fire. This guy's a fucking dickhead. This guy's such a dickhead. You look like a fucking dickhead, man. Akaman on a table, turban is a popular expression among the Swamis. This guy's, man. I know, he's going 100% with the cosplay. He's coming across as the ISKCON people speak like they know the Hindu faith better than real Hindus. They do. You hit the nail on the head. They're white. It's okay. I'm going to go on camera for this. They absolutely do. It's the Tarzan syndrome. It's the white man can do it better than the native person. Tarzan, the white man, can be a better jungle man than the people that actually live in the jungle. Tom Cruise can go and be a better samurai than all the Japanese samurais in Japan. Brad Pitt can go to Tibet and he can be a better Tibetan monk than all the Tibetan monks because he's a white man. You see how that works? You see how that works? Kevin Costner, he can go out to the frontier and he can become a better Indian than the Indians because he's a white man. A white man does everything better. He's a better samurai. He's a better martial artist. He's a better martial artist. He's a better samurai. He's a better Tibetan monk. He's a better jungle man. He's a better everything. You put a white man in some culturally different environment than his own, he'll become better at it. The white man is naturally the best at everything. You put a white man in the Arctic, he'll be the best Eskimo ever because he's white. He'll be a better Eskimo than all the Eskimos. You put a white man down in the Serengeti, he'll survive better than anyone in the Serengeti. You put a white man on a desert island in the middle of the Pacific, he'll be a better Pacific Islander than all the Pacific Islanders in the Pacific Islands. That's the myth of the white man. The myth of how Hollywood tells the story of how no matter where the white man goes, he's always the best at everything. So naturally, white people buy it. White people believe that shit. They believe that, Tarzan, he was the best, and samurai guy, Tom Cruise, he's the best samurai guy, and Brad Pitt, he went to Tibet, he became the best Tibetan, and Kevin Costner became the best friggin' Indian, dances with wolves. So why shouldn't the white man be able to go to India and preach? He's better at preaching Hinduism than the Hindus. You serious? You really think that the Indian people, after kicking the British out of India, after India fucked up their country for 400 years, you think Indians want to go and listen to this English guy claim to be smarter than anybody else in their religion?
Would be an
In their own
inspiration
religion?
to enter Vanaprastha life, because old age is already approaching. The strength.
This British guy has got the fucking nerve to go to India and play Tarzan and say, I'm a better Hindu than you? I'm a better Hindu than you. The arrogance of these people. And then add in all the other shit right on top of it, right? I mean, the pedophilia and the child marriage, all that basic scum. But you got these guys thinking with this. I'm an Englishman. I'm English. I'm white Englishman. Naturally, I'm better. Naturally, I'm better at being an Indian than you are. I'm better at being a Hindu than you. I'm a better guru than you. I'm white, like Hridayananda. I'm white and I went to Harvard. I'm white and I went to Harvard. What fucking, so what? Because some failed chemist, failed magazine publisher, a failed chemist, deadbeat dad, gave you the name Hridayananda, now you think you're a fucking Swami? The arrogance of these people, man. Here, you know what? There. They are gross. They're gross. You know, and I'm rough around the edges, obviously. But I'm not a Swami. I'm Bhakti Venmo Swami. I'm not a holy man. I ain't pretending to be a fucking holy man. I ain't sitting up on some seat with a turban and a stick pretending to be the best Hindu there is on the planet. These fucking guys, man. Biatch is so pure. I know. These guys, man. Fucking A. Look, here's another one. Here's another one, man. This is the joke of the century. These people. Look, they got a bus. They're all excited because they got a bus. They got a bus. They can drive all their pedophiles around with their pedophiles book. Juhu Beach, where all their pedophiles go. Where all their pedophiles go. They got Trivikram there and Giriraj there. Who knows? Who even knows? Just like I didn't know. I went to the LA temple. I had no idea there were a bunch of pedophiles there. They had Padma Garva there, and then they had this other guy there in the school that touched my daughter. You think, what the fuck was he doing there? What the fuck was that fucking guy doing in the school that touched my daughter? Did they do a background check on him? Did he have any teaching credentials? I just assumed that they did. I'm like, this is a huge LA Hare Krishna temple with a school with teachers and kids. And I see it going on. It was my fault. It was my fault for assuming that it was these people wouldn't just hire somebody, nobody. I knew the teacher, and I knew the two teachers. I knew them. But I didn't know this guy that they hired to be the assistant guy. I didn't know him. But I figured that they did. I assumed that they did. And that was my fault. But that's how things happen. And then you find out that there's another child molester there. You don't know how. There's just the two that I know of. How many other ones were there that I didn't know?
चालू कीजिए कीर्तन करताल नहीं लाया क्या?
I don't know who these people are, man.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Oh, yeah, they're freaks. Every one of them. Look at them. With their flowers. They give flowers to the bus. They're freaking singing to a bus. They're singing to a fucking bus. These people are mentally ill. I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating. And I'm gonna follow up with this thing. This is from I came across this. I thought it was kind of funny. Because as you know, let me see where I can go right to this thing. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is from the pod. This is from the pod page, and so I know that the people that come in and troll in the chat go to pod, and I know that I know. Don't ask me how I know. I know. But he won't say anything. He won't address me specifically. He will not mention me specifically, even though he talks about everybody and their mother. I mean, if you sneeze near an ISKCON temple, he writes about it. I've been doing this for 2 years. He never mentioned me by name, but he did mention that there was somebody doing videos, and that's it. He hasn't addressed the fact that he promotes this Tattva Darshan. He promotes this Madhu Pandit, that the Bangalore temple has Tattva Darshan there. Tattva Darshan is known convicted child molester, and he promotes it. He won't address that. He will not address that at all. But he has addressed this. But what he did do is he made some comments on his webpage. He made some comments on his webpage right here, and I'm going to read it. He says, Srila Prabhupada says when a person glares at a Vaishnav, he has to take future birth as a vulture. I have had thousands of vulture glares from thousands of GBCs, guru folks. Unfortunately, that means their future is not bright, especially because they are glaring at me to defend their worship of homosexuals and pedophiles, guru regime, double and triple times condemned. Yes, simply glaring at the Vaishnavas is very sinful all by itself and leads to a vulture body. Never mind all the orchestrated banning, beating, molesting, suing, and killing them. So he's saying that those of us that glare at a vulture, I mean, if you just glare at a devotee, you're going to take birth as a vulture. So you can imagine someone like me who is going on the internet and speaking all of this stuff about, I mean, just exposing every dirty piece of shit that they have, calling Prabhupada a piece of shit, calling all of them pieces of shit, showing how they're pieces of shit, showing what Prabhupada says that makes him a piece of shit, his Holocaust denial and his racism and sexism and child marriage and all of that. If just glaring at him gives you a vulture birth, I don't even want to know what's going to happen to me. But I know that that's the only thing they have to say. Oh, don't listen to them, or you're going to take birth as a vulture, or you're going to take birth as a ghost. They don't want to address the issues. They want to scare us into not talking. Like somehow their superstitions are going to work. Oh, you're going to see the Raksha, you're going to see the Yamadutas at the end of life. So then he goes down here and he says, And these people believe him. And these people believe him. These people believe him. They believe him. They absolutely believe him. So here's one here. He says, so this is Prabhupada says, we will fearlessly tell everyone the truth without deceiving anyone. All right, there's a lie. He's not telling no truth. There's no truth. I would rather take cult vulture body than be in this cult again. I know, exactly. I would rather be a vulture than be in this cult. Absolutely. He says we have to speak the kind of truth that is truly beneficial for the living being, even if it is unpleasant. This is not the same as creating anxiety for others. See, this is the gaslighting. This is the gaslighting of Prabhupada. He's saying we're speaking the truth, and this is beneficial for everyone. It's not. It's not the truth, and it's harmful. This shit is harmful. It doesn't benefit anyone. He says here, this is not the same as creating anxiety for others. This absolutely creates anxiety. It creates anxiety for everybody. Look at these people. Look at these people that I show you. Their faces are just like, they're beaten. They're beaten. They're destroyed. Paz's brother is given up on his career. People rejecting their family. Fathers treating their children like shit. Husbands and wives breaking up over this shit. Boyfriends and girlfriends leaving each other over this shit. Over what? Because you're going to tell me that there's a demon head eating the moon? You want me to believe that type of shit? This is insanity. He says we have to search for reality. Yes, we do have to search for reality. And this fairy tale, fantasy, mythology is not reality. He says, he covers another. He says, why people cannot digest the absolute truth. He says, Prabhupada always wanted to give us warning regarding this matter. He used to say that logical interpretation cannot stand in the way of that absolute truth. It's more gaslighting. More saying you cannot use logic to understand Krishna. Well, you want us to use logic. You tell us all the time that we should judge the fruits of it. We should judge a tree by the fruits. You use logic all the time. You use all kinds of real life examples, and then you want us to take those real life examples and project them onto your fantasy world. You do that all the time in your books. It's not logical. He wants to say, when I can't explain something like how King Ugrasena can have 4 billion servants, then logical interpretation cannot stand in the way of the absolute truth. That's what he's trying to say. When I can't explain something, or something just sounds too outrageous to believe, like there's a demon head eating the moon, or there's a spaceman floating between the planets playing a guitar, don't try to figure it out through logic. Yet, it's the science of self-realization. This is scientific. You can judge by the fruits. That you can judge the tree by the fruit. Well, your fucking ISKCON tree is full of shitty, stinky, rotten fruit. He says, all those who can. The reason I'm reading this because he posted this on his page, but it's not pertinent to anything that he's talking about, and that's why I was like, is this to reinforce his viewers not to listen to us? And it's not just me anymore. I come on here and I'm the host and I'm on the show, but you guys are talking too. So it's us. It's us, and don't listen to them. He says, all those who cannot digest the absolute truth and who constantly try to find faults in Guru Vaishnav are certainly on the path to hell. So he's just saying it right there on his webpage. He's saying, look, these guys because he's not talking about gurus. He's not talking about, I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about us. He's talking about us on here bad-mouthing the gurus and Prabhupada. Well, it's got to be Prabhupada because he badmouths gurus. So he's saying, all those who cannot digest the absolute truth and who constantly try to find faults in Guru Vaishnav are certainly on the path to hell, as long as their dirty mission of fault-finding continues, and unless they sincerely try to correct their polluted darshan regarding pure Guru Vaishnav, it will be next to impossible for their consciousness to rise. It is our great misfortune that we never sincerely try to harmonize ourselves with Guru Vaishnavas in the true sense. For this reason, even after receiving Diksha from an exalted Vaishnav, we may remain deprived of genuine Divya Jnana and true Seva Bhava forever. So even though I'm Sri Mukunda and I've taken initiation, because I say, hey, I read the books, I was in it for 20 years, I was initiated. You got to make sure that you got to put that in there, even after receiving Diksha from exalted Vaishnavas, we may remain deprived of genuine Divijnanam and true Seva Bhava forever. He says, okay, so he says, what? These fruits are all rotten. Nothing good comes out of ISKCON. Absolutely nothing good comes out of ISKCON. He says, the main problem is this. As soon as Guru Vaishnavas are speaking heavily, we are the first ones who loudly proclaim that they are lacking Trinad Api Bhava. This kind of misunderstanding is the reason for why we cannot make any progress. People who fail to realize that no ordinary preacher has the power to roar like a lion. Those who, in the name of preaching, only seek labha, puja, pratishta, gain honor, prestige, can never take up the conch of the absolute Chaitanya Vani, Bhakti Siddhanta Vani, to blow into it as preach it fearlessly like a powerful lion king lion. Why are there some cheaters acting as preachers? The reason is that if they would speak the exact teachings, then the discrepancies in their own lifestyles would be discovered. Because of that, they are bound to be selective about what to speak and what not to speak. You cannot expect hearing all of those topics on the absolute truth from them simply because they are failure to apply all those principles in their own life. So yeah, don't hear from us. Don't listen to us. We're failures, and we need to not. Anyone who goes to the pod page needs to not listen to the cult watch people. Don't go over there and listen to them. Prabhupada only made a bunch of BS. He definitely made up a bunch of BS. Hey, this has been a really good stream today. Let me see. I think I covered just about everything there is I wanted to cover today, and I didn't realize how long this has gone on. I do. Let me do one more before I leave. I got one more video because I want to. I gotta watch a little bit of this. This is always a good one. Let's see.
Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe. Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe. Radhe.
So there you have what's going on there is you've got one of these Indian billionaires, Sri Anil Agarwal. He's probably one of the richest Indians there. Owns all kinds of companies. And I guess he lost his son. His son died. And ISKCON just jumped on that to get money out of him. So he's there with this child molester Indra Yumna Swami, who likes to rub his hands all over little girls. He likes to rub his hands all over little girls, like Ramananda Roy. He thinks he's Ramananda Roy, this guy, and he's there to scam this billionaire. And I mean, it probably doesn't take much to scam a billionaire, an Indian billionaire. You could probably scam a few 100,000 out of him pretty easily, because he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire. And he just lost his son. So, he's going to tell him, hey, donate some money and your son's guaranteed to go back to Godhead. Whatever the hell he's doing. But that's what they're doing. That's what these guys do. Nothing but scammers, pedophiles and scammers. All cosplayers faking everything. Absolutely. That's all they are. Absolutely right. Yeah, my ears. Yeah, I have my ears. I take that stuff, man. Always collecting cash from wealthy Indians who could give a damn about following their stupid rules. Absolutely. 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 You know what? They're just like people in the airport that give money just so that they'll go away, just that they're millionaires, so they give more money. They're like, here's like George Harrison. Hey, just here, take this money and go. Leave me alone. Stop asking me for money. Here's 10,000. Just go print your book. Go print your book. Go swim in your river. This fucking guy gets donations from people, and then they swim in rivers. They go on guru-paloozas. They're not using that money for anything good. They're not using that money to vaccinate kids, to stop polio, to stop the spread of diseases, to bring clean water into villages that have no clean water, for a new. How about indoor toilets? How about building some toilets for these? That they didn't do that. No, he's going to go swim in the river. He's going to go take that money and go to Rishikesh and have Guru Palooza. And Radhanath's going to take that money and go friggin' buy a cashmere sweater that he can give to some guru somewhere. And Lokanath, what's he going to do with the money? He's going to go buy a bus so they can go travel around and sell their books. They don't do anything good with that money. They do nothing good with that money. Going to build a big fake temple with fake planets showing a fake description of the universe? How the earth is flat and the planets are... You're going to spend money on that bullshit? Are you serious? You're going to spend billions of dollars to build a fake ass... That's like these people that spend money to build a fake Noah's Ark. Like, why? Why do we need why are you collecting money from religious people so you can build a fake Noah's Ark? The fuck is that going to do for anybody? Meanwhile, you got homeless people that need food. You got homeless kids that need food. You got sick people that need medicine. You got all kinds of stuff that needs done. And you're building a friggin' planetarium that shows that the earth is flat and the sun is being pulled across the sky in a chariot? Like, you gotta be out of your goddamn mind. And you're asking these billionaires for money so you can go do shit like that? That's obscene. Obscene. It's criminal. It's obscene. It's obscene, man. The source of all is not an Indian village. I know, like I know. Krishna appeared to a bunch of cavemen 5,000 years ago, and then he came back as Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago and appeared to a bunch of pedophiles in Bengal. Hey, give me a break. Give me a fucking break. Fake gurus, fake monks, fake devotees, fake scripture, fake everything. Rocket science gone wrong. Absolutely, it's insane. It's insane. It is a death cult. It's a death cult. Absolutely, it's a death cult. Look at Paz's brother is like, well, I'm not the body, and I'm sick, and I've been sick for 2 months, and they're telling me not to worry about it, Prabhu. Just so what? You leave your body in, like they told me, leave your body in Vrindavan, Prabhu. That's the best thing you can do. So what if you've got 104 temperature and you don't want to go to Mangal Arati and you might die? You're in Vrindavan. It's a fucking death cult. Freaking death cult. Pedophile death cult. So I got through everything today. I got through everything. No, I didn't get through everything. I'm going to save it for next time. I'll give you a little hint. I got this guy. This guy giving a Bhagavad Gita class. This guy in his dhoti and his T-shirt, and he's got his little thing on there, and that's Mr. Punk to Monk. That's one of the punks to monk guys, and he's gonna give a Bhagavad Gita class. So we got to make sure we hit that up, right? We got to hear that. We got to hear that. Narayan Maharaj would tell his devotees verbatim not to get married and sacrifice their lives. Yes. Well, Prabhupada, yes. I know. For Narayan, he didn't even write any books or translate anything. At least Prabhupada did something. He wrote some friggin' pedophile books. Narayan he glommed off of Prabhupada. What the fuck did Narayan Maharaj ever do? Scumbag. They're all scumbags. They have no moral value. Nothing else matters except dollars. You want to donate to fake ISKCON gurus. I know. It is such a scam. Such a scam, and there's no moral values. They're not teaching you anything. They don't teach you anything that makes your life better. They don't teach you anything that makes your life happier. They don't teach you anything that makes your life easier. They don't. It's the opposite. It's the absolute opposite. I know. Just check it out, man. You gotta examine. I know. From the wisdom of the sages, I know he's got his. From the wisdom of the sages, he's gonna examine. He's gonna examine that Bhagavad Gita, man, with that magnifying glass. They say you only got this one life. Fortunate soul by following this chanting cult. They got it all backwards. You've only got one life to live. Why would you join this friggin' cult? Why would you join this fucking cult if you only have one life to live? At least Buddhism, you got many lives. I'd rather be Buddhist, and I don't have to worry about these Yamadutas and shit. Whatever. It's insane, insanity. It's insanity. But listen, I want to thank everybody, all of you guys, man. Thanks again for joining me, because I look forward to everybody being here and taking role. I take role, and I know that Rafal's been absent a few times, but we're going to overlook that. But we're going to dismiss the class today. Class is over, and I want to say thanks to everybody. Do these young Joker devotees know that Prabhupada used tobacco? No, they don't. They don't. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. And exactly. And in the meantime, you'll free past 10,000 generations and the future 10,000 generations. I know it's crazy. So yeah, we're ringing the bell. Class is over. I want to thank Fake Human, Rafal, Hayden, Monkey Boy. Who else was here? Monkey Boy, Tim, I think. Jenna Morton, man, thank you. And Paz, man, good luck with your brother, Paz. Keep me updated. I want to know if he gets better. What's going on, man? Because maybe we got to go break him out. I don't know. I don't know what we got to do. Dahlia, Jeff, Fake Human, of course. Don Pearson, man. Thanks for coming in, Don. It's always good when you're here. Everybody, Howard Johnson. Yeah, everybody. And if I missed you, hello, hello, Kat. Yeah, I want. Thank you for coming in, everybody. Everybody, thanks for being here. And listen, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Share my videos, man. Please share these videos with somebody that needs to see them. Please do that. We need to spread this out and more. Get a larger audience. So please, if you could like, share, and importantly, subscribe. Share, like, share, and subscribe. And wherever you are, please have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening. And please have some great luck. And please stay out of a cult. If you're in the Hare Krishnas, man, you can get out. Contact one of us here. We'll help you. We'll be your lifeline to the real world if you need that. And please, if you're wondering who I am, here's the closing credits where you get to see me as a Hare Krishna a long time ago. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great day.